Hello Sangha, welcome to day 5. We're still on the beach. Yesterday I was on the wood. It was a little slippy for the sheet. I might have to try and find a yoga mat for the practices. I hope you're well today. We're going to continue to look at yoga as a subject briefly. If you want to fast forward to the physical practice anytime, you're welcome to fast forward, obviously. And that's the beauty of filmed practices and YouTube. But I think for some people it's really interesting to hear about the 8 limbs of yoga. Yoga gives us some instruction on things we can do, things we can practice to keep our mind steady. The physical practice just being one, in order that we have healthy bodies, you know, so that's not what our mind is disturbed by. So we'll look at them. We'll start tomorrow. A broad over view of the 8 limbs, and then we'll go through each of the limbs, each of the yamas and niyamas. This will all make sense. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting for us all just to hear some of these ancient ideas and ancient wisdom. So let's start lying on our back. We're going to mix it up a wee bit today. So let your feet come together, okay? And then separate your toes and touch your toes. So you're in, your legs are in like a Baddha Konasana position or a diamond position, okay? And separate your toes and touch your toes. So feel your toes as they separate from each other, feel them as they touch. And if you can, separate them and just try and touch your big toes together. And then your little toes touch together. And if you can, then your big toe and your little toe together. So I said we were going to do some toe work. Don't worry if you find this incredibly frustrating. Keep practicing it. I promise it comes with time. Then let your hands rest by your sides. Keep your legs in this position if it's comfortable. Change if it's uncomfortable. And sweep your arms out wide like you're making a snow angel. And I know we've had snow in Scotland over the last week or so. Hopefully we won't when we're doing this in January. But sweeping your arms wide like a snow angel movement. And one last time. Now if you feel like your hips will feel okay, press into the outside edge of each foot and let your hips come up from this position. So slightly different, well, pretty different from how we normally do it with our feet flat on the ground. And come up and down. And try this a few more times, trying to make the movement steady and smooth. And then if you can, do the angel arms movement and lift your hips at the same time. So a bit more to negotiate with your body, because it's a bit different from what we normally do, and also it's a little bit more challenging to get your hips up from this position. Good. And when you're done with that, into Apanasana, this lovely position for your back, rocking from side to side, making circles with your knees, one direction and the opposite direction. So we're going to revisit a sequence that maybe you'll know, maybe you won't. I call it the warrior sequence. It's borrowed from, parts of it are borrowed from Leslie Kamenov, parts from other yoga teachers, part from my own practice. So it's a little bit of an amalgamation. So roll yourself out to one side, push into the floor and come to a seated position that makes sense for you. Shuffle your hips a little bit further back, okay? And today, just start with some gentle rotations for your body. Turning and looking. Turning and looking. Good. Good. And any other movements, you know, if you want to lean over one side, you want to lean over the other side. You know, I read this quote once that said, movement's like nutrition, you know, we need it from a lot of sources. So we need a lot of different movements in our bodies. So come to all fours. Lift and lay your hands, lift and lay your knees. Take yourself through some cat and cow, but let your cat and cow move forwards and backwards. Bringing your weight forward, bringing your weight backwards. Maybe sweeping in cow posture, or rocking forwards and backwards in cat posture, or adding some diagonal movement to your spine. Really playing with your movement and staying so connected to your movement that you really feel like, oh, this is what my body needs now, this is helpful, and that's what my body needs now. Okay, and let's come back to a kneeling position and see how that feels on the 5th of January, if it's the 5th of January you're doing it, or the 5th of October, it doesn't really matter. And move everything from side to side. Giving your glutes a wee massage with your heels. Okay, bring your weight forward again, tuck underneath your toes, walk your hands back towards your knees, and if you can, get your knees up off the floor. Get your knees up, have a look at your 10 toes, okay, that you were touching together a few moments ago, and see if you can bring your knees back down to the floor and keep your toes tucked under, and a slightly different kneeling position from the one we do, which is Vajrasana, thunderbolt posture. Okay, so just seeing if you can keep your toes tucked under. It's really good for your feet, but it can be quite intense, and if you have something like plantar fasciitis, it can help, but actually it's more like a prehab for that, so it's more helpful to kind of try and stave off things like plantar fasciitis. And then lift your hips up, let your toes go back, and let your hips come down. Feel probably a little bit of relief as you do that. And again, bring your hands forward, tuck underneath your toes, walk your hands back towards your knees. Now you can use a cushion or you can use your hands, but can you get your knees down either on their own, on top of a cushion, or keep using your hands, okay? And if you can you get your knees back up? It's a little tricky in the sand, but we'll try it again, okay? So letting your knees come down. A German teacher friend of mine said to me, and I'm sure it's not her quote, but repetition is a mastery of all skills. Okay, so when I have a movement skill that I want to learn, I do it again and again, okay? So see if, good, that time, okay? And if you can, do it a couple of times. Reach your arms out in front and inhale all the way up. Okay, we're going to repeat that whole sequence. We're going to come down, okay, sinking down. Let your knees come forward, okay. Lift your hips, point your toes back, sink it down, okay. Take your hips up, toes tucked under, hips on your heels, knees up, okay. Arms out in front, inhale up. Shake it all off, get a little bit loose. Shake off your legs, roll through your shoulders, make any movements that feel helpful. And we'll go straight to the warrior sequence, okay? So taking your right foot forward, your left foot back. And try and find a stance that feels super stable for you, that makes real sense, that if you've done martial arts or boxing, okay, you find this stable, comfortable stance, which is why they use it in martial arts. So pressing on the outside of the edge of each foot and sinking down into your front knee, pushing down through your back heel, lengthening up through your whole body. This is really helpful for thinking about head position, okay? I know that I'm kind of conscious that my head goes forward, so I'm trying to really think about that when I go through this sequence. Open both arms and connect both hands. Turning to the left, take a big inhale. And exhale, bring it forward. Turning to the right. Bring it forward. Taking both arms out wide. And connect both hands. Inhale, go tall, bend your front knee. Exhale, go as far forward as you can. Frame your front foot. Lift your back heel, let your knee touch the ground, and your hip rest in your back heel if that's feeling okay for you. So we're doing what we did earlier, but we've just got one foot doing it this time. So we're kind of squatting and kneeling. That's why I like this position. Bring your hands back to the ground, let your back heel go down, bend your front knee, inhale, reaching both arms all the way up. And exhale, connect. Inhale, reach both arms wide. Exhale, float forward, let your back leg lift. So like the posture we did a couple of days ago, okay, but we're a bit deeper in it now. Bring your knee through, and give it a hold, and shake everything off, okay? Okay, we're going to switch to the other side, taking our left foot forward or right foot back, or the vice versa, whatever side you've started with. Soften through your front knee, root down through both feet. Let your palms connect. Think about your head position. Inhale, arms go wide. Exhale, connect. Feel the moment they touch. Inhale, turn to the right. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale to the left. You can go faster or slower than this. Let your body move at the pace that you're breathing at the moment. Inhale, go tall. Exhale, come forward and all the way down. Lift your back heel. Drop your back knee. Sit into a half squat, half kneel. Okay. Let your fingertips come back on the floor. Your back heel go down. Soften through your front knee. Inhale, we're going up. Exhale, we're connecting. Inhale, we're going wide. Exhale, we're drifting forward. And their back leg comes up. But try and get the weight through the front leg before the back leg comes up. So it's almost like a drift or float up that your back leg does. And then bring your knee through and hold it. Okay. And then shake everything off. Let your body take a moment to absorb the movement. And then let's try again. So right foot forward, left foot back, assuming you're doing the same side as the last time, okay? Bend your front knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, connect. Inhale to one side. So it's a version of Warrior Two. Let it come together. Let the other arm go back. Bring it forward. Reach out with both arms. Really open chest. Head resting on your spine. Hands come together. Inhale up. Lengthen. Reach fingers. Exhale forward. As far into space as you can. Let your hands float down either side of your foot. Lift your back heel. Let your knee come down. And let your hip rest onto your back heel. Okay, if you want to, you can send that foot out into a lunge. Or a side lunge. Okay, try these movements, see how these feel for you today. Good. If you want to add a little arm movement in, you can add a little arm movement in and float forward and frame your foot. Just see how things feel for you today. When you're ready, coming back to the center, let your back heel go down into pyramid posture, Parsvottanasana, bend your front knee, inhale coming all the way back up. As you exhale, let your hands connect. Let's try Warrior Three, open up both arms, take a slow inhale, exhale, float forward, let your back leg open up. Chest high, arms high, back leg high, float it through, give a little hug, and shake it off, okay? Have we walk around, do whatever you need to do for your body. Then let's try the other side. So left foot forward, right foot back, connecting, let your hands come together, relax your shoulders, lengthen up through your spine, soften through your front knee. Inhale, reaching out. Feel the moment your hands connect. Slowly go into one side. Bring it forward. Try to the other side.
Bring it forward. Slowly open both arms. Take a big inhale. And connect. Feel the moment your fingers touch, your hands connect. Inhale, go tall, warrior one, forward all the way down. Into pyramid posture, lift your back heel. See if you can lower your knee. Sit comfortably here, okay? Wipe the sand from your hands. And if you want to lunge, you can lunge forward here. You can take it out to the side if that feels good for you. Just try and work out what your body needs this morning or this afternoon. Good. You want to add your arms into this movement, you can add your arms into this movement. Floating forward, drifting back. Whatever is working for you today. Bring it back to the centre. Try and find enough foundation to come back to Parsvottanasana. Inhale up to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, connect your hands. Inhale, float out wide. Exhale, drift forward. When you want your back leg to come up, arms high, chest high, back leg high. Bring your knee through. Give it a wee hug. Good. And shake it all off. So that's enough movement for today. We're going to sit down and focus on our breath. So if you can sit down without using your hands, sit down without using your hands. Find a seated position that makes sense for you today. Shuffle your hips a little bit further back. Let your hand rest somewhere that feels comfortable. You might want to place them on your heart, on your belly, on your thighs. You might want to rest on your back today. But again, like yesterday, bring your focus to your breath. So the smooth inhale, the smooth exhale, the pause between the exhale and the inhale. Also include a pause after the inhale today. So try and let the breath slowly come in. Take a brief pause. Notice the stillness. And then slowly exhale. And take another pause. And if there's any resistance in your shoulders, in your face, in your jaw, let that resistance soften. And continue with your smooth breath, with the pauses in between each phase of the breath. And if your mind is wandering at the moment, just notice that your mind is wandering. And as the thoughts come in, just take some time to observe them and then let them pass through. If you've got time to rest in your back today, to feel a bit more grounded, rest in your back. If today is busy, then slowly introduce some movement to your fingers, your toes. If you want to stretch your body out, stretch your body out. You want to hug anywhere. Just do any movements that feel nourishing and helpful for you. And whenever you're ready, let your fingertips connect, the base of your palms connect. Bring your thumbs up. Om Shanti. Thank you so much, everybody. Well done and practicing today. We'll see you tomorrow.